Next today, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. Last season, the Chiefs were defeated by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl 55, earning them the penultimate position in this year's draft order. They have a 31st overall selection in round 1, the 63rd in round 2. They have a third rounder, two fourths, two fifths, and a sixth. Those extra day free picks are compensatory for the losses of free agents Kendall Fuller and Emmanuel Ogbah. A huge reason the Chiefs were unable to retain the Lombardi Trophy was due to the performance of their offensive line. Tampa Bay's pass rush was basically living in the Chiefs' backfield, harrying Mahomes on nearly every offensive snap. A phenomenal stat from the game is that in trying to avoid the incessant pass rush, Mahomes travelled 468 yards prior to attempting passes out of a shotgun. To put things into context, the Bengals didn't have a running back who gained that many yards throughout the whole of the 2020 season. The 29 quarterback pressures that Mahomes soaked up were the most in Super Bowl history. The Chiefs have somewhat addressed the interior of the line during free agency with the signings of Joe Thuney, Kyle Long, and Austin Blythe. They'll also have Laurent Duvernay-Tardif back after he sat out the 2020 season to help provide medical assistance back home in Canada during the COVID pandemic. Unfortunately, that leaves both right and left tackle as dire and urgent needs. Last year's starters, Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz, were both released by the team earlier in this offseason. Their 2020 campaigns were cut short by injury, with rumours suggesting that the future playing careers of both players are in doubt due to the severity of their injuries. This leaves Martinez Ranking and Mike Remmers at the top of the depth chart, and the Chiefs should be looking to upgrade both of these guys as soon as possible. Now, the team does have other positions it could certainly reinforce, but the weakness at tackle is so severe that I consider it a perfectly acceptable strategy to target the line in both round 1 and round 2. At 31st overall, Longhorn Samuel Cosmi could fall to the Chiefs, while at the back end of the second round, Jackson Carman could be available. Now, I'm not saying that the Chiefs must take a tackle on both round 1 and round 2, but I genuinely feel that they have to come away with a starter from this year's draft, given their cap space. Now, after the line, the Chiefs could do with upgrades at linebacker and then additional depth across the D-line and in the secondary. It feels like this is a team that has invested a lot in the starters who have carried them to the last 2 Super Bowls. Beyond these starters, especially on the defense, there isn't really a lot. A few injuries, and this suddenly starts looking like a team where the opposition could start running up scores. Because of the urgency of some of the needs on the roster, the Chiefs will not have the luxury of taking the best player available, and certainly not until day 3. Andy Reid and the Chiefs front office have done a great job of keeping the core of their championship sides together. However, there are only so many big contracts you can give out before something has to give. Well, right now, it's the offensive line which is broken. The team should keep one eye on the future of other positional groups, especially in the later rounds, because this is going to be something that keeps on recurring as they continue to have success. And that's the Kansas City Chiefs.